The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten, he wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold, and the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won. And I'm going to be cutting this short as far as the intro. Sorry, guys, there was some technical difficulties today. Hi, Hot Neil. I see we have Bob and Jason and Rochelle, Chris. Everybody is here. Again, apologies. I wanted to make sure that I had some sound and my my microphone was not working. So obviously, you guys can hear me, I hope. Give me a heads up, please. Thumbs up. Yes, no. I know there's a 7-second delay, so give me if you guys can hear me, say you can hear me. There we go. Got some heads up. Thank you. I appreciate that, folks. This is Ask Captain Jack. I'm glad to see that everybody can hear me again, that we had some technical difficulties with the speakers and the mic. So this show is your show. And for the next 50 minutes, I'm going to be here answering your questions. We had a good show last Tuesday. We actually had some people call in. So the number is working. Give me a ring up, 813-699-0834, because unfortunately, there's not a lot going on that I can talk to you about in Raiderland. I mean, like a lot of the folks here out, school's out for the summer, OTAs have left. Yeah, I know the Phillies lost today. Thanks, Chris. I cut in and out of it, but Hot Neil, the commish is on vacation, or at least trying to take a vacation. There's been some consternation, but I won't get into that. He's trying to take some time away to be with the family, get some things done. So we are here manning the fort, shall we say. I'm in my ship. I'm in the galleon. And so we're going to be here throughout. I know that the commission will be getting back probably the first part of August. I know that hopefully I'll be having my podcast set up by that time, the first part of August as well. So he's not going anywhere. We still have our shows. Big L has his fireside chats on a Monday. Thursday I might come in for a usual show. Not sure. A lot of things going on. So I know I'm here Sunday. I'll see if I can be here Thursday. But I know Tuesday, like I said, I will be on with another edition of Ask Captain Jack over at the Silver and Black Alliance page. So I'm here to answer your questions. Yeah, you know what, Hot Neil? You know how I feel about Stevel Juice. Just saying. So I can give a rat's ass. I'll be honest. A lot of, and I know you guys are going back and forth with the hey, how you doing? But I want somebody to call. Like I said, the mic is working. The phone is working. It is 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. I have it up right here, the Hangouts.
and it's ready and waiting for you guys to call, because I can't have an Ask Captain Jack show if you don't ask me some things other than what's on TV right now. I turned off the game. Looks to be some sort of Denzel Washington movie. I can go to another channel. Oh, I know this one. This is, in fact, this is, The Preacher's Wife with Whitney, Courtney Vance, and Denzel Washington. Good film. But these are the doldrums of summer. I had a show last week where we went over, and it was an informative show of, greatest all-time sports films. And, I had the results cooked up, and it basically was just a tie with a bunch of different shows. We found out that we all have a divergent taste in sports movies, whether that they are older, some are old, but older, or just some would just not, some are the newer ones. And I'm telling you, as I said, I'm not a fan, for the most part, of today's movies. I mean, the production value is skyrocketed, but it's after my Evil Live stunt. Oh, okay, yeah, I was. Let me Leslie pop in, and I saw some of that. He was trying to break Evil Knievel's record, the one that broke Evil Knievel jumping over of a lot of buses and whatnot. So go in and pop in when that's done, and we'll be definitely happy to hear from you. All right, Leslie, you come on back, and we'll be waiting for you here. I don't know if Big L is here. What are your thoughts? Thank you. A question. Thank God. What are my thoughts on Conley suing his accuser? I'm all for it. He's done 2 stunts. He's still alive. He hasn't done the major stunt with the buses yet. Correct, Leslie? I mean, what channel is that on? We'll put it on over here. It's on the not the History Channel. See if I can find it here. So we'll pop in as well. Okay, Chris, I'll get to the Mac holding out in a minute, but I know it was on one of the channels. The H channel. Was that right? I have DirecTV, so if somebody can tell me what it is, I'll put it on over here, so we'll all be kind of pseudo watching it while you're watching me. Mr. Ortiz is in the house. Good to see him. Otherwise, it's a bunch of movies, because I got the movies on. The sports for the day, for me, is over. The Phillies lost today. And I know you guys don't give a crap because you're not Phillies fans like I am, but they took 2 of 3 for the Pirates, and they go like Mr. Lentz was saying, going into New York tomorrow for a doubleheader. So again, this is baseball season. Yeah, it's waiting for what's going on with the Raiders, but we got to wait. And as I was saying, Conley is making a lot of progress. Yeah, and that's 2 things about took me to, okay, hang on here. I don't know why. Go ahead and try to call again. I'm not gonna look at the screen while I have the screen on here, and you guys are watching me, but I'm watching here at Google Hangouts. So hopefully I'll catch the phone call as it comes in, and it won't go to voicemail, and I'll catch it before it pops, because sometimes for some reason it goes right to voicemail and I can't catch it, and it'll be ready for a phone call, but it will. Oh, I know why. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, Hot Neil. I will get that phone up. We're going to go to the other account. There we go. Phone is up. I have two phone accounts, and the wrong one was up. So thank you for telling me about that, Hot Neil. Got the right one on 813-699-0834. There we go. I told you it was working. Hello, who is this? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes, you're on with the captain. Who is this?
Hey, what's up, Captain? It's Jason Dean.
Hey, Jason Dean. Good to hear from you, partner. I appreciate Hot Neil telling me that that I had on the wrong. I had.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
It's Jason Dean.
Yes, can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, I can hear you, Cal.
All right. Well, at least last time I was hearing you, but you weren't hearing me. So at least we've gotten that taken care of there, shipmate. That's good to know.
Yeah, I'm good that we can actually hear each other this time. I'm not just talking to air.
Well, you were talking to me. You were talking to me, and I could hear you fine. Just the fact I wasn't able to respond. So
yeah.
We were talking about Conley, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this as well. People were saying that obviously the good things about Conley is that he's been improving. He's been showing himself in camp. But the main thing about Conley this week is the fact that he went after his accuser, and I am all for that because and I won't call the lady a B word because I'm above that. However, okay, if you screw over a man's career, and by all counts, the Raiders should not have had Conley in that draft because he should have went a lot higher than he did. Now, granted, for us, it worked out well for us, but he dropped immeasurably, not only via the contract, but the fact is that he lost a lot of endorsement deals and things along those lines. And I'm all for going after the girl that messed up his life. Now, again, I'm very happy the Raiders picked him up, but, I want him to get due process and to hopefully get some restitution and damages over how that young lady did him wrong. And Jay Chuck was saying how Conley wasn't injured at Ohio State. He had one injury last year. It took him out the whole year. I expect a big year from Conley. What say you?
Oh, he's going to have an excellent year. I think with Rashaan Melvin on the other side, it's going to help him tremendously. KJ is going to come back strong. I know everybody's skeptical about Reggie Nelson still being there, but truthfully, him and Gilchrist are going to do well. Reggie Nelson probably will make the team just because he knows that defense, and he knows it very well. He played well in it. I know it's not the Reggie Nelson from Cincinnati. I know it ain't the Predator, but he can be a coach to those guys back there. And now, with Conley going after the accuser, she deserves everything that she gets. She tried to ruin this man's reputation. She tried to ruin his name. And like you said, cost him endorsements, cost him draft position. And it made us actually think, okay, we drafted this kid. We were hoping that it wasn't true. We didn't know the truth. Of course, you got to hear from both sides. Nobody actually knows until the truth comes out. This girl was trying to get money. That's all she was doing to try to ruin a man's name. Probably because he didn't want to be with her, if he was even with her at all.
Yeah, the story is that Conley took her pants down and but didn't have his way. But the reverse side is that basically she took her pants down and was, shall we say, waving the panani all up in his face, and he said no. And that again, this is the story, ladies. I'm not trying to denigrate at all. This is the story, okay, of what he said, she said. Point being is that Conley did not go through with a sexual act because there was no evidence of that. So again,
and truth, Captain, truth, there are some scumbags out there that are guys. Yes, I'm saying it. I am a guy myself, but there are some scumbags that do push the issue on females. I have a sister and I have 3 nieces. if any guy ever approached them like that, dear Lord for them.
Right. All right. Like I said, I treat ladies well. Chivalry is not dead, but sometimes you gotta make things right. But it goes. The flip side is, ladies, don't screw over a guy's career.
He probably just wanted her face out there. I don't know. Like I said, it's been proven and nothing happened. She tried to get some money out of the deal, tried to ruin his name, and it failed. So you know what? He's going to get what he deserves. He's going to get a little bit of that money back. But you know what? Truthfully, that's done and over with. The season's coming up.
Right.
You got to concentrate.
Okay.
They should have, this defense should be a top 10 defense, maybe even top 6.
Whoa.
I think so personally, because
top,
yes, I do. Here's the reasons why. I got reasons for you.
Top 6.
Those two rookie defensive tackles. They're going to dominate.
Okay. Well,
the big kids that are super, super fast.
Okay. I tell you what, top 6. I'm gonna nicely hold you to that there, Jason Dean.
Okay.
I mean, and what I want you to do is I want you to remind me every week when you come in, and I want you, and I'm telling you this because I'll forget otherwise, but I want you to remind me every week, hey, Captain, did you look at the stats for the defense? And I want you to go up or down because you said top 6, and I want you to make sure that you
stick to it.
Okay.
The reason why I'm gonna is because I know Khalil Mack's gonna come back with another possible defensive player of the year. He's mad. He's gonna get paid. Our linebacker crew, they're still a little sketchy for me. I mean, I love Derek. I love Johnson. I think he's going to be really well for the kids. Nick Morrow is going to be a surprise. Me personally, I really like the Lamore kid.
Well, Lamore obviously knows what Gunther wants, and that's why they have Lamore there. That's why they have Whitehead there. These guys know the defense, and it's going to be wonderful to have. Reggie Nelson, like I said, you say he's going to stick. I think that he's going to stick for the teaching, but I tell you, if there are safeties that can actually show their worth and that can do the things that they are supposed to do, I think that Nelson is actually a liability and would be better off being a advisor for the defensive backs this year. Now, if the Raiders cut him, then obviously he's going to want to go to another team. But I think that if things go well and the Raiders say, hey, Reggie, we like what you can do and we want you to come in as like an assistant defensive backs coach, advisor, whatever the hell the title is, and pay him for the instructional view and have an option that, God forbid, if they ever need him, he can suit up, and they've done it before.
I think keeping him on, I mean, I know a lot of people are not happy with that we still have him, that he wasn't cut. I know he got smoked. Yes, last year he got burnt like toast. This Gilchrist kid is going to play well. I was hoping Milani would have stepped up a little bit more last year, but he's still there. And I would like to see Obi play a little bit better so he can step and slide maybe into that strong safety role. And we could put Carl Joseph back there at free safety and be our Earl Thomas type player.
Right. Joseph is going to be better at free because having him up close to the line, especially with these big tight ends, they're just going to continue to eat his lunch. And
you're right. And he needs to be back there getting a running head start and smashing dudes across the middle and putting fear into receivers' eyes and heads that they're going to be afraid to come across the middle of that Oakland Raider defense.
Right. The question is, though, and Obi had a fire lit underneath him with the comments that Gruden made, and it said that obviously Obi was out there and was improving his stock with at least showing what he is capable of doing. I think Luwani might be the odd man out, which is unfortunate because the rookie that Gruden was all over and I call it underwear practice because really it's nothing until you put pads on. This is underwear practice. And there was the rookie that the kid he was in from the small school. Can't remember his name. It's immaterial at this point. But the fact is,
the kid from Utah State.
There you go. That kid from Utah State. Yeah, he was showing.
Yeah. And what about the other kid? I think it was Smith, maybe number 41. That was impressive in the first couple of days of underwear camp. I'm thinking that maybe what his name was. Maybe it was Smith. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check.
The kid that you were talking about was actually on the team last year, and he was a special teamer. Yeah, he was a special teams guy, and he did come in and play some plays. He is actually wherewithal, played very well in limited time last year, plus his stock is going up. I think that with him showing up, with the kid from FNA State, whatever the hell, Podunk State, played well. Utah State, yeah, FNA State. You know, it doesn't really matter.
They were the Aggies, Captain. They were Aggies, I think.
Okay, well, that kid will probably make it over Lawani because, again, Gruden likes people that have the proper attitude and it will do the job. And if that kid continues to impress when the real pads are on, that will be good for everybody in the defense. I like Luani. I think Luani's got a bright future ahead of him. I do. I think he's a ball hawk. He's got a nose for the ball. He's just got to get polished up a little bit more. I think our defensive back coach, Anthony, I think he's going to do well with our kids. He did well at Alabama. He got a bunch of kids for the draft. I think he's going to do really, really well for us. I got you, but it's going to be a numbers game there, Jason. Remember, you normally only carry –
yeah, we can't keep everybody. We can't keep everybody.
Exactly. Now, remember, normally you keep, I want to say, 6 safeties. So if we count for 6, we got KJ is 1, Obi is 2, Gilchrist is 3. The 2 guys that we were talking about, that's 4 and 5, and Reggie Nelson is 6. That's 6 guys right there.
Luani's going to be the odd man out.
Yeah, I mean, unless somebody gets injured.
Unless he goes absolutely crazy in pads, where he's like head and shoulders above. If he's 5 feet above where he was last year, that's the only way I see him with us.
Yeah, and again, I like Luani as
unless they cut Reggie. Unless they cut Reggie Nelson. If they had Reggie thanks, but no thanks.
And that is I think, and that is the reason why I think if the kids, and I say kids in a nice way, hell, I'm a lot older than these guys. If the kids can play and do what Gunther wants them to do, if Reggie Nelson is worth a salt and then can get these guys to play the defense, have Reggie as an assistant to the D-backs coach. And then you can keep Luani, and you got a good group of young safeties back there that are going to be doing the job. Now, I 1 second there. But I'm sorry. But any further there, Jason? I'm going to try to open it up for other people, but if not,
go ahead, Captain. Nothing further, except I want to say you have an awesome show. I love the Raider Reaction team. You guys are excellent. This is probably one of the best things I've ever done. Came from Pennsylvania down to Florida, and I met my Raider family here. Absolutely love it. You have a great night, Cap. Thanks for talking with me. Raider Nation, and thanks for coming on board there, Jason E. Always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. You make sure you keep calling in as well. Absolutely. All right, take care. And that opens up a phone line that I'm actually going to monitor because I'm a schmuck. I will admit when I'm wrong. I had the wrong phone line up. And that's why everything went to voicemail. So, Hot Neil, you can go and call me again. Now, one thing before we do that is Mr. Gambino had a comment a little while back, and I'm going to try to see if I can find it here. It was something – it was a good – what do I think about the snitching policy? Can you expound upon that, the snitching policy? I mean, you say it as a joke, but I want to know what the heck you mean by that. And yes, Gilchrist is greater than Nelson. So while we got here, we talked about Conley. I want to, Mr. Gambino, tell me what the hell you mean about the snitching policy. If it's a joke, great, but I want to know about it.
Mr. Castillo, any news on Navarro Bowman? The news on Navarro Bowman is there is no news other than, and I think I went over this on Tuesday because I talked about it as well. And unfortunately, because I'm doing this, I won't be able to get to the History Channel because I want to keep my attention here. Unless you guys know what the History Channel is on DirecTV, I can poke it in here, but otherwise my attention is here. Navarro Bowman remains unsigned. Reggie McKenzie has already given Navarro Bowman a number. I don't know this for sure, but I'm thinking when they were talking way back when, saying, this is the number that we have for you. And by the way, this was before DJ signed. This was before DJ signed saying, this is the number that we have for you, Mr. Bowman. And this is what we have for you in our plans. This is our number. And he left the building. Then they signed DJ, okay? I think that they have enough money to sign both Navarro Bowman and then obviously sign Khalil Mack to his extension. Great talking to you as well, Jason Dean. Thank you as well. And, they need to, Mr. Antunes, Servando, I got you, man. They need to sign Mack. And somebody else was saying, what are my feelings on that? Here's the thing, and I was talking about this again on Tuesday, and I will give props to I was giving props to Angria because I was under the impression that that both Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald had the same agent, and this was kind of like a few years back when the wide receivers that had all the money, I think it was Dez and somebody else, they had the same agent and they were signed within out 269. Thank you there, Chris. I'm going to put that in so you guys can see it. 269, and it is on Evil Live. Okay, so I will keep an eye while we're doing that. Thank you as well there, Mr. Lentz. I see a bunch of people talking. I do not have the sound up, so if I'm missing something, let me know. Dude, that's some hair. Long hair, pink mullet. I don't know who you are, but that's a statement. That's a statement. Even I don't have a mullet, you know. Cabinda. Okay. Oh, and you're talking about linebackers there, Mr. Mulaney. Yeah, if you're talking linebackers, the odd man out there, unfortunately, I think is going to be is going to be Cabinda and Victor, because Victor was the draft choice this year. A lot of good upside with him, but again, look at the loggerhead that we have at linebacker. Morrow's, in my mind, Morrow's not going to go anywhere. Lee will make the squad. You got DJ. 34-7. Okay, Mr. Kashaba, we'll see. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a 34-7 route, but I am on record stating that I think that the Raiders will lose that Monday night game. They're not terrible there, but that's your opinion. I know you're trolling. I ain't taking the bait. I am on record saying that the Raiders are going to lose the first Monday night of the year. And, you know, and all the other people already know that you are a troll. So your comments can remain what you say. Any further comments and you will be removed. Okay. If I can do that, I'll figure out how I can do that. Yeah, let's see if I can put on the name. Lee site, changing man. Nope, can't do that. I'll figure it out, and you will be removed. Okay. Anyway, Johnny Knoxville is the one with the mullet. Is he the guy with the pink hair too? Wow. Anyway, so this looks, we're interviewing. She's hot. Again, Mr. Gambino, I'm not saying. No, it's somebody else. I'm not saying that it's not going to be a close game. But I am on the record. Saying I think it's going to be way too much excitement for the Raiders and Gruden, their first game back together, John being the Monday night guy, and he's gone back to Oakland. There's going to be so much adrenaline coming out of that game that I think that it's just going to be a bit much for the Raiders. It's kind of like a show horse that, you know he's going to be a fantastic person, fantastic ride, but I think that it's going to be way too much adrenaline for that team, and I don't think that the Raiders are going to win that game. And I'm going to be out there too, which sucks because I'm going to see it live. Okay, Mike, we'll see. Again, I'm not saying I want them to lose, but, you got to have a voice of reason. The Raiders are not going 16-0. I think we can all agree on that, right? They're not going 16-0. They're not going 19-0. Okay. Because that would predicate that they would, obviously fly through. The Patriots went 18-1. I just talk of a special when someone really cares. Oh, I got you, Dave. Okay. I got you. But you think, sir, it's going to be a blowout. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And again, if you have an opinion, give me something real. For you coming in here and saying that the Raiders are just going to get their ass whooped on Monday night, I don't think so. They're just going to be, there you go. Mac is going to be hard to block. So is Aaron Donald. Which, again, if you're a Rams fan, okay, the Rams, there you go. See, and now you're talking like in reality. Okay. Think they'll beat the Rams. Again, the first game of the season is going to be up for grabs. I may change my opinion, okay, based upon what I see in the preseason. Okay. By the way, guys, gals, lines are open. 813-699-0834. Jason Dean and I had a great conversation. Lines are open. I'd like to hear from you. Bill Wallinger came in. Bill, give me a call, man. 813-699-0834. Ask Captain Jack. It's always great to hear about you. Mr. Kashaba, if you want to talk about this, converse on a level where we're talking about the game, I want to hear why you think it's going to be 34-7. If you're just trolling for fun, great. But if you think the Rams are going to kill the Raiders, great. I want to hear your opinion as to why, so we can discuss about it. Mr. Gambino saying 10-6. I'm thinking could be 9-7. It all depends upon how the Raiders gel. Ahoy, Bill, by the way. Thank you as well. 813-699-0834. We're going to have a good conversation here, okay? And Mr. Darcy, what the Rams did last year, second year together, I agree. Captain, you can't expect the team to be playoff caliber at season's opener. I agree. The Rams are a playoff team. Mr. McGammer says 49-0 Raiders over the Rams. It's not going to be a blowout, guys. It's going to be a good game. If you think the Raiders are going to blow out the Rams, who, by the way, are down an offensive lineman for drug use, he's suspended for the first 3 games of the year. One of their guards, one of their tackles, but an offensive lineman, and everybody's like, ooh. The Raiders' D-line is going to be going right through the guy like a hot knife through butter, okay? John McEmber, okay, the Rams are a playoff team, okay? If they have a season like the Raiders went from 2016 to 2017, that's always possible. But, okay, I think I think it's going to be a lot closer than you think. The one gentleman says 34-7 Rams. The other guy says 49-0 Raiders. I think it's going to be a very close game defensively because the defenses, I think the Raiders' defense is not quite up to what the Rams have. But by the same token, the Raiders' offense is a hell of a lot better than what the Rams have. Carr is a lot better quarterback than that kid that the Rams have in his second year. Running backs, providing that the injuries haven't taken their toll from the kid out of Georgia for the Rams. I know these people's names, but they kind of escape me, so I remember their colleges, okay? The Rams running back is fantastic. He's younger, he's quicker. He's a possible MVP candidate. Mr. Vieira, good evening to you as well. I think the game is going to be closer to 34. Gurley, there you go, Todd Gurley, going to go up and put 21 points. We'll see. But I think, Tommy even says that the Rams are going to win in a close one, and that's what I think. I think it's going to be about a 27-24 or a 24-21 game with the Rams winning in the end. Again, yeah, and that's the guy I was talking about, Jamon Brown. He's out for 3 games, okay? No, the Rams actually got 2 D-backs there, Jason. They picked up Aqib Talib and Jason Peters. So they lost the one guy in free agency, but they picked up 2 great quarterbacks in Aqib Talib and Jason Peters, 2 guys from that I'm glad are out of the AFC West because we don't have to. That makes the Broncos and the Chiefs worse, at least by 1 cornerback for each team. And remember, Talib's already played with Wade Phillips, so he that's going to be a very easy learning curve for him. But, Peters, these guys are buttholes. They are. They are buttholes. But the point is that they're talented buttholes. The defensive front for the Rams are very good Aaron Donald and a bunch of other guys. And, I don't really care who the other guys are at this point. You just know that defensive line for the Rams is very good. Their backfield at the corners are very good. It's going to be on the linebackers, okay? And that's where I think the Raiders actually, they have it over the Rams at linebacker, is the fact they got a bunch of young guys that actually have good smarts. And it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Yeah, Ndamukong Suh. Exactly. You got Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald next to each other. That's a terror. That's a terror. Sam Shields, okay. This isn't a you fest, Tommy. I know you love him. I got it. I'm a good friends with, Cane Freak Freddie. Good guy. But, I'm not all about the you. Not all about the you. Mrs. Soriano says 45-26 Raiders. Yeah, he did at times there, Jason, but, other times it's going to be playing up to his capability. I think that the reason why he had some really crappy games, okay, is because the Kansas City is not known to keep a tight lid on things. I mean, they got some real buttholes over there. And their coach, the fat man, he doesn't really keep a tight lid on things. I mean, remember that this is the team with Travis Kelce who goes around and does all the crap that he does. Okay, they got rid of Peters, but they got a lot of head cases and malcontents on that team. Now they got rid of Peters, but it's going to be up to Wade Phillips to put that team together, and he's a master. And hats off to Wade he's going to do good things for him. Right. Mr. Gambino said the thing. The Raiders offensively are superior to the Rams. At wide receiver, you got Cooper Kupp for their team. You got remember they did pick up what's his nose from the Patriots that just burned the Raiders twice, once as a New Orleans Saint and once as a New England Patriot. Okay. And that's their other wide receiver. They got rid of the other malcontent who signed with the Chiefs, so we got to deal with him in the AFC West. But I think line and receivers, they got us at running back. Todd Gurley is better than Marshawn Lynch. You got to believe that. But the running backs as a whole, their crew. Brandon Cooks, thanks there, Mr. Kashaba. Cooks has speed. Lance, it went okay. Couple problems here with some of the thing. We worked through it, and again, I appreciate you guys bearing with me. If I didn't fix the microphone and the speakers, we wouldn't have a show, obviously. So I wanted to make sure that was done. So again, phone line is open, 813-699-0834. I tell you what, Jason Dean called. I want to hear from you. Who's going to call me and let's talk Raider football? I want to hear from you. 813-699-0834. We're talking Raider football. But he's not better than Martin and Lynch. That's why I said the Lance Sanfilippo. He was saying, hope my day went well. That's who I was talking to, Lance. Glad you pronounced my Mr. Kashaba. Yeah. What else would it be? I'm an old salty sailor. I don't get 100% on names, but I've been around the world a few times, and I'm at least in the ballpark on names. Okay, so thank you for letting me know I pronounced it right. Okay, good. I want to hear from you, Dave. 813-699-0834. Talk to the captain. Ask the captain. That's what this show is about. So I will go over. I'm waiting. Mr. Kashaba said he's going to give me a phone call, so hopefully that'll happen real soon, because I want to talk about something else other than opening night, because there's a lot of things going on. Khalil Mack is not signed, and I agree. The fact is that why show up physically? Why show up when all you're going to do is possibly get hurt? What is hurting the Raiders for me, okay, what is hurting Khalil Mack to me is the fact that he is not in there getting attuned to what the defensive coordinator wants. Paul Gunther wants a certain system. That is why he picked up the guys he did. That's why Whitehead is here. No, Jason Harrington, we were talking about that. No, you not Lance. I'm not Lance. The last Lance for the Raiders was a head coach that they canned by the name of Kiffin. And yes, I know his name was Lane, but Mr. Davis called him Lance. So that's why I called him Lance. Donald and Mack are both waiting on each other. That's true. And that's why I was saying the fact is that I thought that they had the same agent. And back a couple years ago when the wide receivers, it was Dez Bryant and another wide receiver were both waiting on each other to sign because they wanted to make sure that that the contracts were not out of whack. Okay, so that's what's going on here. I thought they had the same agent. They do not have the same agent. So basically, it's going to be a case of whoever signs first is probably going to get less money than the guy that signs next, because they're going to know what, if Donald signs first, then Mack is going to know what the mark is. And his agent's going to make sure that it goes beyond that mark, vice versa. If Max signs first, then Donald's going to know what the mark is as well. So it's just a matter of the fact is that the Raiders and Rams are just going to have to deal with it. And the unfortunate thing for Khalil is the fact that Paul Guenther is installing a brand new defense, and he's missing out on the time between the head, the time up in the head between the ears, okay, for what's going on. And that sucks. With Khalil missing all of the time away from what the teachings are, it's good for the defense to get to know and gel. And again, Khalil Mack is not a dummy. He's going to be able to pick it up, but wouldn't you want him to know everything from Jump Street? Wouldn't you want him to go into the first game not being a couple weeks behind? Because if he signs like right before training camp, or maybe let's say that he doesn't sign at the beginning of training camp and he still has a hold, and he's not going to get that time that he needs, okay? And again, he's also not going to be in football shape. He might be in great shape, but remember, there's a difference between great shape and great football shape. And that time away is going to hurt Mac. That time away is going to hurt him, both mentally with the mental reps of not knowing Guenther's defense, the physical stuff. Great, he'll be in shape, but he's not going to be in football shape. And we'll see. So again, line is open, 813-699-0834. How you doing there, Mark Anthony Flores? There we go. That's my phone call. Up. Call again. For some reason, it dropped. Call again. I went over to it, and it went away. Call again. It was there for about 5 seconds. Actually, not even 5 seconds, like a millisecond. And I went over to it, and the line went off. I'm still buzzing, drinking Tennessee whiskey. Okay, Mr. Soriano, that sounds good. Again, call in, whoever that caller was. It'd be great. I can't see who. No, I don't see what the calls were. So you're going to have to call again. These are old calls. Conversation. There we go. Hello, you're on with Ask Captain Jack. Who is this?
This is Dave Pashaba. What's up, man?
Hey, Dave. How you doing there, shipmate? I thought we all thought you were a troll from your first announcement. So I'm glad that you. Go ahead.
No, never a troll. Never a troll. Just love the sport of football. Love my Rams.
Okay, well, hey, Ram loving is good. Here at this page, we don't mind you coming in as a fan from another team. We don't mind that. But we want to hear some smart, intelligent things, because if you're a troll, if you're an a-hole, we're going to get you out of here because we want to talk real football.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Okay, so you're saying now you've come back on that. You say it's not going to be a blowout. What's your score and why?
All right. So I'm thinking it's a tight game. First, second quarter, I have a feeling both teams fill each other out. Derek Carr probably throws for $150 in the first half with probably 2 touchdowns. Raiders taking the lead 14-7 or 14-14 going into the second half.
Okay.
But I do feel as if Todd Gurley and Jared Goff and company wake up in the second half, and our defense stops Derek Carr. We stop Amari Cooper, Marshawn Lynch, and then makes room, and Todd Gurley and Jared Goff just end up routing and winning the game, maybe 31-14 final.
Well, see, that's still a bit much. I don't think – I mean, I can see a resurgence for the Rams because, remember, other than Aaron Donald missing time, but he still knows Wade Phillips' defense, his time away is not going to hurt them as bad as Khalil Mack's time away, not knowing Gunther's defense. And also, it's going to be easier for him to step in. So I agree with you in the fact that the Raiders are going to be, like I said, they're going to be a bit amped for that game. And but you're saying like 21 points without a Raiders even making some more headway. I can see 27-24, 31-28, but I can't see 21 with zero output from the Raiders, because you're saying it's going to be 31-14. That means the Raiders don't score at all in the second half.
I'm not thinking they do. I think Todd Gurley, he proved it last year. He's a second half running back. He doesn't really come out of the gate full head of steam like he should, but in the second half, the man rushes for damn near 80 to 150 yards almost not every second half, but he's on average about 80 to probably 100 yards each second half now, because he only rushes for 20 to 30 or 50 yards in the first half typically.
Right.
And it being the first game of the season, and it being at the Raiders, I feel like the Rams will start off very slow in the first half, but then find their rhythm just like they did last year and shut the Raiders down in the second half.
Okay.
How healthy is Amari Cooper?
We don't really know about that, obviously, until the season. Cooper in OTAs, he had a injury where he tweaked something and he didn't come back for one practice, but that was just the one day, and obviously nobody's going to say, well, he has a torn yada yada yada, or he's out. So we expect him back 100% from those practices. Okay, so until we see otherwise, figure Cooper is going. Let's call him 90% just on a, for cautiousness, 90% working up to 100. Nothing is major at this point. Conley's had some injuries, but nothing major. From what I've seen on the OTA front, the Raiders do not have any major injuries. That's the knocking wood that it continues all throughout, the training camp. So I don't know of any major injuries. I do know, obviously, that your Damon Brown, I believe is the guard's name, is out.
Yes, he's out 2 games for violating substance abuse policy.
Okay. And he's probably he's really nothing, and nothing against Mr. Brown, but he's only one cog, and losing one guy that's not that great in the grand scheme of things is not going to hurt you overall.
And we also drafted a young man by the name of Joseph Noteboom. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he seems to be doing really well in OTAs. Obviously, you could have as much upside for any rookie, and have as much upside and expectations, but you really never know until Sunday, Monday, Thursday. So
gotcha.
You guys lost Crabtree, right? So who are we looking at for wideouts besides Cooper?
Well, the top 3 are really an upstart from last year. We lost Crabtree, but we got Jordy Nelson, who's probably one of the best reception receivers, and then we also picked up what's his nose from the Steelers that can just run a straight. There you go, Martavis Bryant, who can run a 9 route all day long. So if you throw Cooper in the slot, which would be better if you bring Bryant to the outside, Jordy to the outside, Jordy running routes that he's going to get the ball, Martavis running flies and crosses and posts, Cooper's going to be open. The wide receivers this year, at least the top 3, are better than they were last year.
I agree, 100%. I didn't know. I forgot about Jordy Nelson. I forgot you picked up Jordy Nelson. That's huge.
Yeah. And Jordy Nelson is your version of Cooper Kupp, but a lot more experienced and a lot better on. I mean, Cooper Kupp has got a lot of good hands on him. He's going to be an up and coming guy. He's kind of like your version of Jordy, but he's only in his second or third year.
Right, and he also didn't have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to him for 2-3 years.
There you go. There you go. And, Goff is a good quarterback, but I would definitely take Carr over Goff if you're going to run offense on offense. I think the Raiders' offense overall is better than the Rams' offense. It's just going to be a matter of which defense will come out. And I like Wade's defense. I like Wade's defense because, again, they've been playing together last year. They already know what the mark is, and they're only going to get better, whereas Gunther's defense needs to be ingested by everybody on the Raiders, and we're missing our greatest guy, and that's going to hurt us the first game.
Absolutely. And in what aspects are you thinking that, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but in what aspects do you think that the Raiders overall have the better offense besides the trifecta at wide receiver and Derek Carr, being as the Rams did have the highest scoring offense last season? Right,
but I think that the O-line minus the question marks at right tackle, because if I came in there and played right tackle, and I'm an old offensive lineman, if I came in there and played right tackle, we'd still be much improved over who the hell was at right tackle for us last year, okay? And I'm 53 and fat and slow, okay? But the thing is that our offensive line between Penn, Jackson, Kalichi Osemele, and Hudson being the top four, and whoever comes in at right tackle, whether it's going to be our rookie, Colton Miller, whether it's going to be the other kid that we drafted in the third round, whose name escapes me, I apologize. Whoever plays right tackle, even if it's David Sharp, the guy that was our project from the University of Florida, I know all about him from him being a Gator. If you see right behind me, I got that Gator helmet that's sneaking out above. I know about him very well. I can play right tackle. I'm not going to play right tackle, but whoever the Raiders have on that line is a better line than what the Rams trot out. I'm just saying that. I mean, I know you guys got Andrew Whitworth, but other than that, I couldn't even begin to name anybody on your line, because now I'm not saying that they're horrible. They're not, because obviously you did have a proficient offense last year, but I'd like to look at who you guys were playing overall, for the defensive points that you were giving up. Remember, you're playing in the NFC West. You were playing a bad Niners team. You were playing a Seahawks team that was injury-riddled, and the Cardinals sucked. So if I'm not mistaken, you got at least 5 or 6 wins there, correct?
5 wins.
Okay, there you go.
5-1 in the division.
Okay.
But we did beat teams such as the Jaguars, the Saints, and people of that caliber. And we were also, I believe, 3 points. Should have been 3 points away from finishing off the Eagles as well if Tavon Austin didn't fumble the football. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and if they would have called the fumble on Brady right about 12 to 15 years ago, shit would have been different with us too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying. Well, I tell you, partner, it's a pleasure been talking to you again. I love talking to fans that have good wherewithal that we can have an intelligent conversation with. Again, obviously, this site is more Raider-centric, but you are definitely – Brandon Parker, thanks, Jason, the gentleman. See, these people help me. They know I know, but I can't have all of these things going on all at once and then being able to spit it out. That's why I rely on the comments, because I know who I'm talking about. They know who I'm talking about. They just supply the obvious words and names when I need it, because otherwise this is a team. This is a team effort. And I appreciate you calling in there, shipmate. And my friends are shipmates. You are welcome. You are welcome to do any other show with Ask the Captain. Occasionally, I have guests on that are, obviously, I'm trying to get some Raider guests, and I normally would do that on Sundays. But be sure to stop in when you're around, because again, when we have a show like this, any intelligent conversation is always wonderfully needed. We've been on for an hour now. I'm going to be rolling off. It's been great talking to you, Mr. Kashaba. You be sure to come in and call in again.
Yeah, absolutely, Captain Jack. It's been an absolute pleasure being on your show, and I appreciate the intelligent football conversation. I'm glad that we can actually have a conversation as opposed to some quote-unquote football fans that think that they could just either troll, what have you, just talk about 49er fans. All they talk about is Jimmy Garoppolo and how he's the second coming of Joe Montana and blah, blah, blah. It's just great to have an educational conversation about football with somebody that actually understands the game. So I do appreciate being on your show, sir.
Well, thank you. You're allowed to view. And if there's things that you can input, you be sure to call back in again. So thanks again, Mr. Kashaba. I'm going to politely hang up on you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great one.
Okay, thanks again there, Mr. Kashaba. And again, we love all fans. We love all fans. And if you're going to talk intelligently, I'll talk with you. If you're going to be a flaming rectal hemorrhoid, I will not. And obviously, Mr. Kashaba has his views. I agree with him in the fact that I think the Rams are going to pull out that first game. I don't think that the Rams are going to be blowing us out like he says, but we'll see. Again, I can change my view based upon what I see in the preseason. So having said that, and I've gone a little over because I wanted to get at least an hour on with you, and we were about 10 minutes late. We are at 1 minute and 2 seconds. 1 minute and 1 hour. I'll get it right. 1 hour and 2 minutes now. So I'm Captain Jack. I'm signing off. It's Sunday night. It's great to be here with you on Raider Reaction. Please join us all of our shows. We got Big L tomorrow. We got other things coming up. The commish will be back in August. We're all running shows. We're here for you. Cheers to everybody. Have a great week, guys and gals. Raider Nation rules. And you're allowed to come in as well for other teams, but speak intelligently. Have a good weekend. Y'all take care. Good night.